On an ancient map, this city of Jerusalem was depicted as the center of the world. Ancient tradition has it that in the center of Jerusalem of the heavens lies the Garden of Eden. In the center of present-day Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, near the Israeli parliament, the Knesset, and along the Avenue of the Museums, lies the University Botanical Garden of Jerusalem. This unique garden already celebrating its Jubilee year. From time immemorial, gardens have served as an expression of the human need for a place where the physical world and the spiritual universe can meet. Where body and soul can find peace, where the spirit of man can hover above the ground and find rest along its trails. A place beyond which there is no life. What man felt hundreds and thousands of years ago has changed but little. The University Botanical Garden of Jerusalem is spread over 120,000 square meters in a green belt, a center of activities not only for the city but also for the country surrounding it. This enchanted garden lies in the center of an area 10 kilometers wide, which contains about 1,000 species of wild plants in their natural habitat. This is a singular ecological area, one of the richest in the world. Currently, as well as in the foreseeable future, 10,000 species are planned to grow here, representing plants from all corners of the globe. Each year, tens of thousands of visitors pass through the garden gates, people of all ages from Israel and abroad. The Botanical Garden was created about 80 years ago, when teachers from the Hebrew University on Mount Scopus began to develop a site that was originally used as a center for research and teaching, a green corner against the background of the arid Judean hills. With the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, Mount Scopus and the garden were severed from the city of Jerusalem and from the new state. Professor Zahari, Professor Evan Ari, and Professor Fan are among the founding fathers of the Botanical Garden. They make up part of the honor list of the Botanical Garden's wider family of men and women. In 1954, with the development of the new campus of the Hebrew University at Givat Ram, the garden was relocated there, and in 1962, the garden was moved to its current and final location. Throughout all those years, there were several partners to the vision and its implementation. The Hebrew University of Jerusalem, the City of Jerusalem, the Jewish National Fund, JNF, the Jerusalem Foundation, the CG Fund, and the Society of the Friends of the Botanical Garden. The garden lies in an almost impossible location for a garden, along a narrow valley. In order to achieve a special effect for the garden, we divided the wide open space into areas or rooms. In each, there is a different habitat for different plants sharing the same geographic origin. A novel approach was taken in the planning of the garden. The plants are displayed in phytogeographic sections rather than according to their scientific classification. Today, this concept has become the accepted norm the world over. Thus, the garden includes the Mediterranean Basin section, Southwest and Central Asia section, Australia and New Zealand section, North America section, Europe section, and the South Africa section. Above them all, up on a hill, stands the dome of the Dworsky Tropical Conservatory. This is an artificial ecological complex where equatorial flora can grow. Another conservatory is to be added for plants from the Arctic areas of the globe. The University Botanical Garden in Jerusalem is a colorful focal point of attraction for tourists, a center of recreation for the Jerusalemites and the visitors to the city, as well as a center for education and instruction. The Botanical Garden is a center for teaching botany and gardening. The School of Horticulture and Landscape Studies is a vocational training center, hub of activity, dedicated to gardening and landscape design. It is run in cooperation with major professional agencies and organizations and serves numerous groups for theoretical, practical, and environmental education. Courses are given here for adults, ex-soldiers, and new immigrants, thereby making a valuable contribution to Israeli society. The Botanical Garden is actively involved in widening and deepening public awareness of issues relating to ecology, the environment, and landscaping. Numerous visitors come to the garden for these purposes. Among them are the physically impaired, wounded soldiers, victims of terror attacks, blind people, and the elderly. As if to implement the biblical expression, Torah will come out of Zion. The Botanical Garden distributes to all its wealth of knowledge and practical know-how. The garden initiates and advances research in the fields of botany, gardening, and acclimatization of new plants. The collection of plants, along with the accumulated database, serve as a basis for applied research carried out in conjunction with other research institutes, both in Israel and abroad. New technologies and techniques are constantly being checked, such as covering the soil with chopped wood in order to prevent the growth of weeds, as well as for the preservation of water.
על פני האדמה יש כיסוי. כיסוי, חיפוי. החיפוי הזה זה חיפוי קרקע שאנחנו שמנו על פני האדמה, גזם ברוסק של עצים.
Several major research projects are carried out with international cooperation, such as the one pertaining to the 10-year-old stevia plant from South America. The plant contains a substance which is 400 times sweeter than sugar, a source of hope to diabetics all over the world. The project has already registered patents and will soon become a new agricultural export from the Negev desert. One more addition to Israel's natural resources and a basis for future economic growth. The garden crew educates and plants in many its own values of nature preservation and landscaping. Each year, hundreds of thousands of plants are being planted with the help of the younger generation, staff members of various schools, and green organizations. The Education Department acquaints thousands of students of all ages with nature and in particular with the plant kingdom. Enrichment programs as well as learning experiences and a variety of nature and ecology-related activities are carried out year-round and especially during the holiday season. The educational crew develops and prepares innovative and creative programs and learning aids for children. Young concerned girls of Army age do their national service time here rather than serve in the regular Army. The Society of Friends of the Botanical Garden plays a unique and central role in the active life of the garden. This non-profit organization was founded in 1977. The supporters and contributors of the society enrich the garden with memorial corners and trails, trees dedicated to beloved ones, rest areas, pergolas, drinking corners, lookouts, and plazas. By planting the fruits of tomorrow today, a volunteer movement was founded by the society. Its members come to the garden and assist in the numerous everyday activities. They also take part in the many events the garden hosts, the proceeds of which go towards the garden's needs.
The garden should become something that every Jerusalemite will see as his own. The garden should be a method of unifying all the various groups in Jerusalem, and it is so today. Future, we want to expand it. We want to create more attractions, we want shops, we want different types of interests, cafes, so people can come to the garden and treat it as an area where they can relax and enjoy the beautiful surroundings of Jerusalem.
This is like the story in the holy books about Honi the circle maker. He planted a tree for his descendants to enjoy. Likewise, I feel today that when I bring my own grandchildren to the garden, I am bestowing upon them a heritage to enjoy right here in Jerusalem. The University Botanical Garden in Jerusalem, a unique garden in Israel and worldwide. An enchanted garden many are proud to be involved with. After 50 years, the Botanical Garden offers a challenge to complete the development and the planned expansion of the garden, thereby enriching its active life, to enhance and enlarge the number of societies of friends of the Botanical Garden, as well as widen and intensify the awareness of its existence around the world, to broaden support and increase contributions that will enable the University Botanical Garden to meet the challenge of the future. This is the challenge for all of us.